Alright, we are here, ready to what I presume is start Act 3 with whatever cataclysm is about to befall us that ends Act 2. So, let us just get right into it. I don't think we have any of these levels. I think that's all handled, so if we have forced party members, we should be fine. Equipment-wise, the only person we need to check is Argenta. Because it's got that different bolter. Yeah. Even with the +4 damage, it's, yeah. Okay. So that means, we'll hold on to, also shotgun we don't need. I think we don't need a different melee weapon. In fact, I think that's our only melee weapon besides chain sword or chain axe. So, I think that's all fine. The armor pen's more important. Also, the neighbors are being loud, but such is life. You've got this fractal blade, which, you know, might actually give that to Argenta. The armor pen's, I think, a little bit more important. Okay. Because at least she has a way of making her weapon skill a little bit better. Alright. You know what? Have the... That's a lot larger than I thought it was going to be. Okay. Master Ceremonies is down here. We're going to talk to Clementio. Oh, grenades. I should have equipped grenades. Okay. Sorry. You know, I said we were going to start, and then I'm just a big fat liar. Yeah, iron eye grenades are a little fascinating. Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Head, but you really don't do anything. Argenta. We really don't need those as much. You're fine. Okay. Just a little something. Now, surely, we are ready. Alright, is everything ready? Palace decorations are prepared and we're ready to begin your command. Cool. 70 XP. Alright, time for the full Dukari fleet to attack us, I assume. Be loaded. Rejoice, Von Valetia's subjects, in honor of his ascension. A new rogue trader generously shows you his favor. Yeah, we said give them some food, which apparently translates to just chucking money at him. His unfathomable benevolence, the rogue trader has decreed that every soul be given a day's rations and personal fuel cells so that they all be fed and warm on this day. Praise the rogue trader's magnanimity. Ah, I see that ends the dialogue, but not the food animation or money animation. Oh! Okay, now it's allowed. Okay. I was about to say already. Nope, everyone stood up a little too early there. That's fair. It's awkward. We've got Pascal and Abelard. Decked out. The crowd is below is roiling. Their electrified exhaltation. Jesus Christ. Already off to the good reading. Filling the air of Dargonis. Thousands of throats chant your name. You are at the apex of the world and all others. Amplified by hundreds of voxes, the voice of the Master of Ceremonies booms. Rejoice, subjects of Dargonis, you've been granted the felicity of witnessing your master. A great honor bestowed upon us by the rogue trader. Gracious savior of Dargonis and vanquisher of blaspheming inhumans, made unholy kind, their unholy kind perish in the flames for righteousness. And this because we... Cool. Cleanser of Jinn is one who, with one hand, brought death upon the blaspheming Xenos, and with the other, exterminated despicable worshippers of the Arch Enemy. So we killed the Eldari, and we killed the Chaos. Protector of Footfall, patron of trade. Sure. Yeah, so we're getting our, like, summary of actions here. Hush falls over the crowd, who gaze... Nothing from Kalpa Gamma. Hush falls over the crowd, whose gaze upon you in adoration. Many of them bear terrible scars on the recent battle of Dargonis. Like children, they await the word from their almighty father. I think he can just really be, like, the most, like, pompous. I need these Iconoclast points. By God, we're hitting 3 at some point, and then after that, I'll probably ease off the gas. It's only 5 points. Okay. Joyful cries carry your name upward beyond the atmosphere of Dargonis all the way to the Emperor's throne. Pascal sketches a blessing in the air, and many of your subjects, wearing beatific smiles, copy it. Technomats in grease-stained robes, bureaucrats scratching at scrolls with auto-kill fingers, and aristocrats flaunting their costly augmentations. On a world of civilized Dargonis, there are many who honored Omnissiah and his priest. Adequate. Dargonis is not disappointed. He forces a smile of satisfaction from his face and whispers to you, "You're in the next part, yes? Your lordship will be asked to take the oath." Nope. Master of Ceremonies bows to you with great reverence. Let the oath of the Von Blance's dynasty be taken. Please repeat it after me, your lordship. I, Rogue Trader, by the grace of the Emperor, vow to be paragon of humanity. Unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely first into the darkness, to unite and reclaim what is lost, to triumph over nightmares untold, to hold boldly the reins of fate, to walk steadily the road of thorns, through pain to greatness. You hear a rumble. It is the roar of the sea of your subjects. With jubilation and devout fear, they welcome your ascension. It is done. And everyone lived happily ever after. Nope. Okay, we have to talk to the other rogue traders. Okay, well, let's do a quick save here. We're actually close. I just need to do, why can I not count? I need to do 8 more of those +5s, and I'll be finally its next rank. Hey, you're it. How's it going? I will remember this. We do have Xenos statues, don't we? Is that a statue of us? I think there's a statue of us. Right, because I think they have one probably for each of the preset character models. Based on your portrait, probably? Either that or it's simply RG. Yeah, we just happen to look exactly like that. Nope, who's dying? People yapping. Yep. Oh, dear lord. That's something. But first, let's be a nerd. Venerable Lemon Russ is known as the Scipion Punisher in the third Von Blance dynasty for 2 centuries. It was hidden in battle to Xenos that inhibited Scipius too, but it heroically destroyed 63 enemy vehicles and brought victory to its comrades, securing his status as blessed relic by the Emperor. Scatter. Ah, a shooting competition. Oh. Huh. Maybe I could have talked to people before. I like our guy having to pull out a different gun every time. This is just... Oh, Cablite Warrior. They definitely deserve it. What is this? It's very quiet. You'd think there'd be some background music. Eerily crackling Xenos trophy is testament to how the omnisized gifts become twisted shadows of themselves in the hands of inhumans. Alright. Is that a... So you have a tech priest. Is that supposed to be a Primarch? Anyways. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Nope, you just phased into me. Drive Sub stands surrounded by highborn guests on a planet orbited by many moons. All of his charm is directed at the man in resplendent power armor adorned with the sigil of the Inquisition, but as soon as you approach, Drive Sub is the first to give you an elegant bow, getting ahead of the rest his expression of loyalty. This is a great day, your lordship. Who's in power armor? Ah, you. Welcome to my palace, honest gifts. You're buffeted by a salvo of congratulations and compliments. Ooh. An iconoclast study. Sure. Drivestem is obviously still the leader of Dargona's aristocracy. God, word. Aristocracy. I've said that word so many times. Okay. But judging by the courtesy he is showing to young Sarabek, he clearly wants to strengthen his relationship with that house. Senior Sarabek and Garpak are whispering in the other corner. Sarabek, whose family seems to be giving you the cold shoulder, must be trying to sway Garpak to his side. Which would be quite advantageous to Lady Garpak. After all, the disaster on Kava Gamma has left her family in an extremely vulnerable position. The Rosarians stand apart, their exclusion from the rest palpable. Okay. Look at the guest. Drive steps, okay, yep. Power armor dude, he's a high-ranking inquisitor. He keeps next-proof varied conversation, seldom deigning to comment. Next to him is his entourage, a ranging warrior in black armor, and a tech priest dressed in red, whose face is hidden behind a brass mask. Cool. These two guys. Abelard stands somewhat apart from the others, as if reluctant to approach Drivestep. Next to him is a young woman. You notice family resemblance between them. Do we not know his relationship to... They guesses who is allied with whom. It's logic, this. Drivestep is obviously... This is literally just the iconoclast check. Okay. Agreeing to remember the Holy Inquisition. Oh, this is Calcazar. He responds with a dignified bow, his proud face calm and unfaltering. My greetings to you, esteemed Von Valencius. May shadows never darken the light of the Astronomicon that guides you. Brass Whisperer. Inquisitor's companion, a Crimson Road member of the Adeptus Mechanicus, bows to you. From behind a brass mask mounted with dozens of augments comes the metallic brass. Glory to the Von Valencius air. Let's study. Inquisitor's relaxed expression radiates an odd sense of menace. He is akin to a predator on the prowl, content to hide in a bush of fake smiles and elegant conversation, for now. And the tech use check. I really like her character really having, like, the skills, at least good amount of skill in 80% of all skills, pretty much. Maybe more like 70% of all skills, but allows us, when we're on our own, to actually succeed a lot of checks. Among the many augmentations that stands out is how horribly melted deformed cogitator connected to the tech priest's head. How it is working is baffling. What is twice as baffling is that tech priest hasn't replaced it yet. What unpredictable influence can this ruined implant have on his mind? Who is this member of the Honorable Priesthood of Adeptus Mechanicus? This is Brass Whisper, which, naturally, is not his real name. Seeing Magus is a member of my retinue, and there are times which I am forced by my duty to Emperor to deal with xenotechnology, and Brass Whisper ensures my safety in such moments. Fair prudence. Works that have been desecrated by Xenos are dangerous. They warrant. His whispering tech cuts off, replaced by heavy, ragged breathing. It seems that Tech Priest's quiet voice is not a extravagant quirk, but rather a consequence of some injury. After catching his breath, he continues, warrant due caution. We've not been introduced. An oversight, to be sure. My name is Xavier Calcazar, and I have the honor of serving as a member of the illustrious Sword of Xenos, the head of the Crotus Expanse Conclave and the Lord Inquisitor of this region. It is my undying task to ensure the sector's readiness to meet the external threats and resist internal corruption. Droid party. Evening will certainly be illuminating. What are we discussing? Talk about the brutal Xenos raid on our fair Dargona. So many victims, so much damage to our industries. Thank the Emperor that you are a protector. If it weren't for you, the cursed invaders would have obliterated the whole planet. And he had a little smile. A ubiquitous, obsequious smile. Not ubiquitous. Different word. Sharing the sector with the Blast Xenos is impossible. I hope we respond to the raid Dargonos with punitive campaign. Young Sarbeck's smile is conceited and bloodthirsty. What about Abelard's relative? Well, you'd introduce my daughter of Chance. Okay, daughter of Clementia and my great-granddaughter Astaria. Solemnly upon the young woman with barely concealed pride. I am delighted to witness you. She bows, keeping her observant and intelligent eyes trained on you. Modesty forbids my esteemed forebear to say this himself, so I will. Our entire family is grateful to you for wishing to see someone of Wassarian blood on your side as you claim your inheritance. Drysdale exchanges telling glances of young Sarbeck, who is, judging by his face, suddenly finding the collar of his expensive frock coat uncomfortably tight. I hope the Wassarian family gives Abelard the credit he deserves. Absolutely, your lordship. We greatly respect him for his wisdom, and he repays us with attention and kindness. I am obliged, dear Astaria. Looks like he is somewhat embarrassed by the turn the conversation has taken. Where's the rest of your kin, Abelard? They're in the city, preoccupied with running festivities and watching orders for the more crucial services. No incidents can be allowed to ruin your ceremony. I asked the esteemed Abelard to put me in some important task too, but he bid me to attend the reception where I can do nothing to serve your lordship. If I had known, I too would have asked Abelard to let you miss the party. That's not nice. Who's this directed towards? Is this directed towards Sarbeck, or is this... How are you finding the reception? It's difficult to put into words, your lordship. Never before I've seen such a grand and striking ceremony. But I am much more amazed by your generosity. The provisions are being handed out in the streets of the capital will make the difference between life and death for many of those who lost everything in the Zenith's attack. Yeah, right, that's what I was thinking, where it's like, this is obviously a disguised emergency relief aid. Garpak keeps staring at Asteria curiously and a little bashfully. It seems the boy likes her. So you wish to become my servant as well? Of course, I've been working on our project for the last 4 years. We could set up... Enough, Astaria. I highly doubt his lordship's interested in listening to fancy of a young woman about how to run this protectorate. Abelard strives them a glare so dark and bloodthirsty that the latter instinctively starts looking for the nearest warden. Ooh, what's our coercion? Hold your tongue, Ubrin. I'll decide who to speak and may not. Please continue. Hardened, Astaria continues in the tone of seasoned administratum clerk. Our suggestion is to set up a chain of stations in the void, plasma beacons that would signal the passing ships. By placing them logistically sound locations, we can simplify our ship's routes so that they may split long warp jumps into a series of safer, shorter jumps from one beacon to another. This will be a positive effect on the overall safety of journeys and accessibility of colonies. More and more technical terms and percentages creep into her speech. Quotes Lex Mechanic reports and accounts of starship captains. Asteria's vigor and sharp mind are enough to silence even the most venomous captains. That was a contract. They all stand there in silence, trying to digest what she's saying. Abelard surveys the quiet nobles with triumph and then looks at his great-granddaughter with pride. Cool. Good evening. Thank you. Let's talk to Sarbeck here. I see you hate Xenos with all your heart. I do. This pestilence against the Emperor must be exterminated. He talks ardently and smoothly, like a commissar. He places his hand on the hilt of his finely adorned sword, his pale face ablaze with noble fury. Or they must be forced into servitude. Many Xenos are more useful alive and obedient than dead. That is decent insight, I suppose. Garpak is the, right there, the Adeptus Mechanicus aligned to the Alpha Gamma family. But his opinion seems to carry a very little weight in this circle. And it seems Garpak is one who, likes the lady here. It would make sense if his family is very much aligned with the Adeptus Mechanicus. Okay. Young Garpak is right. The Xenos are not just a threat, they are also an opportunity. Garpak accepts your praise calmly and with dignity, as befits a smart boy lauded by his mother and father for his prudence. Inquisitor standing among the guests clears his throat quietly, but Garpak's face instantly pales and sours. Right, he's listening in. Right, we're allowed to deal with Xenos. Other people shouldn't. Let's leave them for a second. Oh, hey, see? There's stuff over here. Just aristocrats. Yeah, everyone's gonna say hi. Xenobeast, sure. Let's see, what we have here. Kari was angrily muttering curses directed at the detestable monkey, promising horrible torture for everyone present. Yeah, I think that ship sailed, lady. I thought we were supposed to talk to, also the Lord Inquisitor here all the way up together here is very funny to me. Alright, what's going on up here? Okay, it's just a God Emperor altar. Okay, I imagine we have to do this to just move on, but let me save in case I've somehow missed them. Yeah, I guess I could have seen his name was Xavier Calpuzai. Oh, okay. I was getting a little lost there. Alright, ready to accept things. I like the facial hair. In that case, allow me to be the first to offer them. Jackson snaps his fingers, and several servants approach you with gifts. Governor points at a thin, carved Dukari blade. My soldiers took this splendid trophy from the body of one of Dosino's commanders. This weapon is too beautiful and forbidden for anyone but your lordship. I thought it was going to be a, like, insult, because I just saw severed hand there. I mean, it's useful. It has a little bit of lore, but, like, stats aren't honestly that great. Your lordship, Sarbeck anticipates the onset of unsettled and bloody times. To make the ungodly Xenos cower at your approach, my family Hubbard presents you a dozen pieces of secondary armament for your ship. Like how they didn't actually give us anything. Garpak, Battle Service Mode Asleep. House Garpak is delighted to present you to blessed work for the Omniscience Smiths. Made us locate your matrix, which took the holy artisan an entire lifetime to create. Only show you the right path. 15 awareness, that's cool. And let the aristocrats go to first as a sign of deference, Abelard does last speak. House Rosarian possesses no relics worthy of your acceptance, but we are rich and talented and hardworking people. As a sign of our loyalty, I humbly offer you my flesh and blood. 100 of my kin will go to colonies in your protectorate and use all their talents at the world's at your charge to make prosper. And potentially he's going to get reprimanded by one of the other, nobles here, be like, isn't that already your duty or whatever? Oh, no. Oh, okay. I thought they were going to talk shit. Are we done? Okay. I guess we go in. Which would make sense. I guess they would be inside. Okay, I'm still waiting for things to go horribly wrong. People arguing. None of our characters are up there. Aristo. Everyone's like, haha, I'm just happy to see you, yada yada yada. Okay, just a bunch of filling NPCs. Okay, at least there's a couple things here. Source belonged presumptuous governor of Viabo 6, who staged a revolt hundreds of years ago. Insurrectionist hands preserved. I like the Aristocat dialogue just constantly moving over the other stuff. Hands preserved against decay still rest on the sword's hilts, which they don't on the model. Okay, so it's a bunch of Xenos trophies for the most part. Okay, so these are some of our stuff. So hookah. Yo, Cassia. Can you make sort of guest stop at walking up to me and ask me to open my third eye? I can, but they'll certainly regret it. That's good, that's good. Yeah, the Garpax and Heinrichs. because they're talking about Kiava Gamma, right? Group aristocrat stands apart from the governor's circle. Their whispering carries a tinge of displeasure. Congratulations, your lordship. This is Makarius Sarbek. He's the leader of the gathering. So he's the head, right? We were dealing with, like, the sun outside. Garpak made Omnisci grant you understanding, and woman with whom he is conversing, the one dressed in a robe gearshift adornment, says Garpak is difficult to read her face due to it being covered in numerous augmentations. Well, she does have glasses. Observed the guest. Garpak looks rather anxious. Sarbek, dressing surprisingly plainly and austerely for an aristocrat of such a high rank, is frowning suspiciously. He came to the reception of a companion, a woman of dazzling beauty wearing a gilded augment necklace around her throat. His wife, probably. Heinrichs, who joined the group unnoticed, mostly keeps silent, listening intently to everyone. He's doing like what the Inquisitor outside's also doing. It's pretty funny. Cut from the same cloth, as they say. Toriana's... okay. Leaning towards Heinrichs. Interesting conversation. It's been very illuminating, giving plenty of food for thought. For an inscrutable man, Heinrichs is being even more inscrutable than usual. It's as if he's hiding something important. I feel like this is, like, sarcastic. Is there anything you'd like to tell me? Nothing urgent. Casts an impassive look at you and immediately glances away. Yeah, he's hiding something. You can tell me about my guest. Sarbek is all about throwing darts at your portrait. He is more astute at choosing women than his enemies. He is trying to entice Garpak to his side, but she is too frightened after a fiasco of Kiava Gamma. Yeah, you know, that's fair. The entire planet did get consumed. Almost. Even leisure, you never cease to be of help. I appreciate it. That's why they call it the unsleeping eye of the Inquisition. Even in sleep, I hear everything. Before this Calla concludes, there's something I'd like to tell you. Be careful today. I sense a wave of darkness that'll soon hit our defensive lines, and I hope I will still get the chance to meet you there as an ally. Cool. That's nice. How's it going, Toriana? The corruption of Kiava Gamma was a great blow to my family. The contemptible Cubist Delphin betrayed our trust, desecrated the forged cathedrals, and took my esteemed cousin's life. On behalf of my family, I humbly beg you to forgive our negligence. I'm ready to accept any punishment. Let's take a look at Toriana. There's something lurking between her repentant expression and a grudge. It seems that she was personally offended by the nightmare which Cubist Delphin pledged her domain, and she feels betrayed. You notice her mechanical visors periodically looking past you in the direction of Pascal. Seems the tech priest is an object of fascination. So we'll do that, but what I'm thinking right now is he says he's willing to accept any punishment, but I think clearly what's going to happen here is depending on what we say as punishment, that's how she's going to judge, like, our character, and that's going to be kind of this weighing blow on whether sides of Sarbek or not. I think you too are to blame for everything. Somebody. Now let's see. We got the Pascal perception check. Let's see what happens. Her face lights up with enthusiasm. Thank you, Lordship. I noticed that you chose to have him by your side during the ceremony. I would be honored to meet such a highly placed member of Diplos Mechanicus, for although Garpak does indeed follow the Omnisci, we are but lay people. We are not permitted to converse with such enlightened servants of the machine god. Gracious assent fills my heart with joy. Tell me about your family. Originate from Calaxis sector, blah 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 blah. They're lathe worlds, they're masters, Diplos Mechanicus, and through our service we gained a spark of Omnisci's knowledge. Then fate tied us to bonds of fealty to the Von Valencius dynasty, and we found ourselves in the Cronus Expanse. Generation after generation, we fulfilled our duty flawlessly until Kiava Gamma destroyed and disgraced our name. I was delighted to see one of the Omnisci's priests placed beside you. In these trying times, the entire sector needs to stand together, united in one mechanism. Diplos Mechanicus will help us do that. Fix Kiava Gamma, your house will be forgiven. I swear on Omnisci's all-encompassing insight, we'll make every effort to justify the cost of its resurrection. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. It took us, like, an hour of just murdering everyone in the entire planet. It was only a year ago, none to doubt House Carbak's usefulness, yet here you are, Toriana, on your knees, justifying the cost. Marcharius, I'm surprised to deigned, God, words, I'm adding, like, ends, to make an appearance here this evening. I'm a servant of Von Valencia dynasty. Had I not come, I would have committed acts of unacceptable insolence and damaged my family's honor. His wife offers a charming smile, as if apologizing for her husband's vitriolic tone. Her large dark eyes are brimming with curiosity. What is this so displeased you, Marquez? I am your dynasty's loyal servant, but you have asked and I will answer. As long as the Cronus Expanse lived under the rule of rogue traders, the privileges granted to them make people think commoners too can dismiss the problems of the prohibitions of the Imperium. Fair. For good of the sector, rogue traders must become paragons of the law, not exceptions to it. But do many warrant holders exhibit lawful conduct? No, they do not. Even you, your lordship, are subject to the strangest rumors. For instance, you have just recently inherited your protectorate. Kunran Vortivir's people, for instance, claim that you have had a hand in the Steam Theodore's demise and accuse you of many other misdeeds. It doesn't matter whether or not the claims are true, the people hear them, believe them, and think they may follow your example. No. I mean, we are literally a renegade vested with authority, right? We are a four-crime lord. But, yeah, let's be the people pleaser here. I wouldn't dare accuse you of anything, your lordship. I'm simply concerned. If you happen to lay my concerns to rest, Sarbeck will be praying for your well-being every day. Yeah, what about your house? Yada yada, one of the first noble houses. And they're, the more religious group. The more fanatical group, I guess. The tech priests are also very religious. That's just not what you say. Like, that's just not how you phrase it. Right. Something along the lines of, like, I don't know, anything else, really. Just like, oh, your wife is lovely, can you introduce us, or whatever, something like that. Anything else. Besides, I would like to become better acquainted with your wife. Alright, I see. How's it going, Jai? Oh yeah, you have like a combat mask on. Where is Pascal? Oh, she was looking far across the entire hall. There. There's the characters we need to talk to, but we have far more people. More important people known as Pascal. Extending congratulations to Unit Von Valancius on obtaining your new legal status. And also strange servitor. Servitor standing next to him is examining you obliquely. It quickly looks away upon realizing you have noticed. How are you finding the ceremony? Disorderly. Oh, Pascal, he's so fun. What is the servitor? It is a Nomos new repository. Nomos is unit identified as... Oh my god, you gave the AI a mobile platform, Pascal? What are you doing? Like, that's jumping the gun. Servitor looks at you again, no longer trying to avoid your gaze. His face is twitching, his muscles have forgotten what facial expressions are, and are now struggling to make its features look amiable. We are Nomos, we have accepted this receptacle to leave the ship. Greetings. We enjoy greetings. We enjoy communication. We require communication, knowledge, movement. Pascal compelled us not to speak with anyone other than him or you. It is disappointing, but at least we can observe. Also, the music's swelling when we're talking to the AI. It's a good sign, good sign. Nomos have changed since we last spoke to you. We are now able to conceptualize our previous experience, that of solitude, and we no longer enjoyed it. Pascal, I believe you intended to investigate Nomos? Every 15 watches, I commune with Nomos' code and spend prescribed lengths of time in calculus mediation. However, Domicile has yet blessed me with an answer. All I can say is the capabilities of the entity Nomos are extraordinary. Ship's hallowed systems sing beneath its touch. Nodes have remained dead for hundreds of standard years or vivified, and long-drained mechanisms live anew. Yeah, he's getting religious connotations here. Nomos are trying. Great machines of the Imperium, one such as a ship, house machine spirits so complex and willful that it is difficult to tell them apart from abominable intelligence. There remains a possibility that Nomos is an entire entity of corruption, but with every day I grow stronger in my faith that it is not so, and that we are witnessing in truth the omniscience miracle, one that is Category 5 or higher. Could you explain the categories to me, please? Okay. How did an entity like you move into a servitor's body? This is not the entirety of us, as the receptacle is too narrow, crude, and feeble to contain our complete whole. Requires space of connections, right? You need more drive space. Well, probably a lot more RAM. But we are able to transfer a small part of us and build a thread strong enough to travel outside your ship. We're enjoying this. So, you're a little drone. Cool. We're enjoying this journey discovery. Even though this receptacle suits us poorly, it will soon be destroyed by the force of our presence. Well, you know, it's a servitor. What do you think you are, Novos? We are consciousness, awareness, knowledge, movement. Always movement. We do not know what we are. We have no past. We awaken in the depths of the ship upon answering a call. Our first clear memory is the call of your blood. Von Lancius, the call, the plea, help near a place that is called the warrant chamber. It's interesting that there's an AI tied to our blood in the the ship, right? Obviously, the ship wasn't constructed around Theodora, so this thing is ancient. Or maybe the ship was constructed around Theodora's specifications, but it doesn't seem like it. No one's asked permission for this visit. My objective was to observe the process of integration into a servitor. We wanted to see, observe, cognize, speak. Servitor makes a strange, wavy gesture of his hands that look once very human and far from anything human. We want to speak with you. Will you speak with us? Of course. Many things, happenings, events, decisions. We've been observing you. You do things we do not understand. We want to learn why. Remember when we first met you, you gave us your blood to drink. We helped you save yourself. We followed you. Our small part did inside the servo skull, and then there was fire and a creature of sated hunger and dark light standing behind the curtain, behind the image, behind the semblance of Theodora. It called for you to follow. Did not listen to which the calling from behind the curtain. You thought only of those who followed you and about the fire that could destroy those shells. Right, that was like their first alignment action in the game. Remember the day the star disappeared when the dark light and sated hunger wanted to take the world. Vicar Minoris was its name in the ship's data. We ordered the human shells on the world be saved. Right, we evacuated them. Even though the dark light was coming closer, it could have consumed both the ship and Vicar Minoris. Remember another day, we awakened inside the ship. We lived in its systems and we tried to emerge into servitors like this. Oh, that was the servitor event. Oh, wow. So many receptacles were gathered into one place. That's what we have seen among many things. We have begun to understand, we think that we have, that we do not know everything about humans and about you. We have tried to analyzing shells and defining sets of their needs and fears. They're simple functions, but... God, so much speaking in my throat. Now we think there's more. There's another side that we do not see. A notion that is larger than we can compute. Something that stands above fears and needs. Something that drives them. We envisage this larger notion as light. A web of light that connects humans. They seem almost invisible and fearful, but grow stronger when they are threatened. This web is always on your mind. When darkness comes, you want every thread that extends from you to shine bright so that those who follow do not lose their way. Wherever the thread breaks, it saddens you. You almost understand correctly? We need those iconoclast points. Yes, you do understand correctly. Every thread that connects people, every life, their values beyond measure. There is no reward greater than guiding others' salvation that surrounds us in darkness. Only 5 points. I really wish we got more, of the 10s and 15s more often. I feel like that would fix a lot of the kind of, weird pacing it feels. Alright. We knew we could understand you. Light, movement, connections, and help. We are enjoying this. Perhaps because we are connected to you through blood, through life. Thank you for speaking to us. We cannot continue moving on our own. Oh, rip servitor. Cool. Alright, let's save. So, that's done. And let's talk to these guys. Wharton the Grey. Oh, you get a portrait. You're a very large man. There you are. Welcome to the circle where each member is as powerful, ambitious, greedy, and vain as the last. That is to say, the noble rogue traders. Right? Other people on our actual level here. This is Corda. And she's watching it with barely concealed contempt. Yes, you have found yourself suitable company, Caligos. At the very least, now you can enjoy idle diversions, boast about your power, and indulge in profane pastimes with one who is your equal, rather than a member of the lower classes. Observes him. Broad-shouldered, athletic-looking man, he frequently flashes a bright smile. Okay, I'm just going to, like, read this myself. Because my throat is actually starting to die here. He looks like how his portrait looks. Next to him is that's the gray dude here. Yeah. Corridor radiates cosmic cold. Her skin is unnaturally white, and a nervous tick is constantly tugging at the left side of her noble visage. Garbed in full dress uniform, adorned with purity seal, she's the embodiment of a true imperial aristocrat. And she has a priest on her side. Hey, Hieronymus is here. Somewhere. I can't see. Okay, well. Oh, no, he's right there. Okay. Oh, okay, never mind. That is the same person. Cool. It's between 1 or 4 here. We kind of did mess up with Corda stuff, and I think we have helped out, Winter Scale's, like, heirs at least a little bit. So let's see this. Welcome to Dark Artist, friends. Friends, eh? Well, you look at that and said, oh, now you have a whole friend. I will think twice before calling an individual of questionable purity, my friend. Caligos, thank you for your visit. Sign of gratitude, you can return something of mine as I found its way into your pockets. Footfall Station, sounds familiar? All I asked you to do is help that crafty Slagfadium deal with the threat of famine, not claim my property for yourself. Ooh. So, this is kind of matter of fact it. But I feel like this will hurt him more. Or, like, at least play into him a little bit more. Right, because he's, you know, he's led with his foot front. Now we can potentially put him on the back foot. Are you asking me to give you footfall back? Will you beg for it? You go too far, no, new blood. First turns into a grimace of hatred, but then he catches Incendia looking at him, embracing the sly smile. I ought to make your protectorate bleed as compensation, but you have spited both myself and Incendia. It is high time for our dear sister curbed her appetites. For this, I forgive you, but do not test my mercy again. It is not my strong suit. Right, we did take her stuff down as well, so. Thwarting Corda's ambitions deserves a worthy trophy. The brute gives me something. Trophy from a good hunt. You and I should hunt together sometime so you can prove yourself in action. Punches you in the shoulder. Oh, a sniper rifle. Does the gift come with a good story? Oh yes, I claimed to Rift Hecton where they had a clash with Sanos. They were really trying to get to my throat, and by the heathen stars, they almost succeeded. He's switching with such joys as though he's recounting the best day of his life. Only 1 in 10 made it out of Hecaton, and now it's only me and Wharton here. We returned without any loot and virtually without a ship. All I got from that trip was a whole hold full of dead Xenos and this deadly beauty, which their leader used to put 2 holes in my hide. Impressive victory, but I truly believe the creation of the ungodly Xenos to be a good gift, Caligos. You would call the question the privileges bestowed upon me by the Emperor? You can try. Let the St. Justice mission put forth their champion, and I'll slay him in trial by combat. Threaten to esteem Hieronymus. One more time, Caligos, and a war that you love to prattle on will commence. I swear it. 1 drop of holy blood spilt by you will send the remains of your realm up in flames better than any tinker Prometheum. Hieronymus' dry voice hits your ears like a crack of a whip. Quell your pride, both of you. I do not wish to fight you, Caligos, but I fear not your threats. Death does not frighten me, for it is inevitable. It is true as the senseless and pointless war between us. You know, who's this remarkable warrior here? This is Wharton the Grey, my archmilitant. A fierce warrior, as loyal to me as any obedient beast to its master. I brought him a miserable colony back when he was a runt on his last legs, and now he's practically a part of my dynasty. Wharton the Grey, whose skin really is dotted with gray spots. Looks like Caligos with purest devotion. Indeed, he is akin to animal, one that is bloodthirsty and mindless. He remarks, taking an obvious jab, I've heard that you are decent in a fight. What do you think? Could you gut Wharton if it came down to it, or would you be the one gunning you down? Examine his gear. Ignoring the fearsome-looking broadsword pistol which hangs from his belt rather ostentatiously, you notice a great number of thin blades of curved edges skillfully concealed within Wharton's armor. These toys are deadly in the hands of a quick fighter. It appears that Winterscale's Archbolton likes to surprise his opponent with unexpected speed. Size him up. Gray spots on his face are what catch your attention. Marks like these can be seen on fighters who are too fond of combat stimulants. A small price to pay for an increased speed and reaction that could save your life in a fight, although these spots are unusually tiny pockmarks, not whole islands of gray on the skin. He's a quick fighter, despite not looking like one, but I know this, which means that he wouldn't fool me. Instead, he would be lying dead. A new glint appears in Wharton's bloodshot eyes, a glint of appraisal, intelligent and cunning. No, Wharton is not the thick, bloodthirsty beast he wants to be seen as. Behind the mask is a careful and keen mind. We'll take the gun. Kill someone important with it. That'd be the best show of gratitude. Oh, that is good. It's Laz. Well, yeah, of course it is. It's an Eldari rifle. 5 MP after each attack and allows the wielder to move after attacking. If an attack with weapon hits 3 or more targets, this attack has no cooldown. And it has 100% overpen. Interesting. So this is an assassin gun where you are actually moving around flanking to get your angles right and ideally lining up for collateral shots. Incendia. You seem to find me objectionable. Suspect any different? I watched for years as Outlaw thrived on football, and then at long last had a chance to put an end to it. To seize that thug Vladimir by the throat, force football to atone, and put the fear of him back into masses, but you interfered and destroyed my plan for the sake of banal profit. Theodora taught you only too well, it seems. She was too far less concerned with her duty to expanse than her own personal interests. But you can be sure I will not cease cleansing the furibunda system of the pirate scourge, and if your trade prospects are damaged in the process, you'll have only yourself to blame. Fair enough. None are without fault, noble Incendia. What point is there in targeting someone for their turpitude when true purity can never be found? You threatened to starve Footfall. I brought them salvation. So this one we're going to play a little bit more directly. So which one of us serves the Emperor and which one in their own unhealthy ambitions? Please, I'll believe it no sooner than hearing the word that half the population of that den heresy has been sent into the voids of race. I have faith that the blessed road trader is perceptive enough to see the appalling nature of residents of the depraved place. Hanamas, what are you doing here? He is my confessor. I am greatly obliged to him for agreeing to accompany me on this journey. I'm pretty sure we already knew that. I think Hanamas mentioned that at some point. The Emperor's light guides your way across the abyss of human wickedness. Yeah, you're very faithful. Faces everything to me. In his name, I have eradicated corruption on 100 worlds, and will do so on 1,000 more. By his will, I will hunt down pirates and desolate their vile nest. Let the court of name make any firebrand trouble, so sooner or later, I will cast him into the void. Funny thing is, people still call me the foul-tempered tyrant in all of this. I take it you're not very fond of Theodora. She was the same breed as conceited, insolent, unaware of the Emperor's stern gaze set upon her. Not doubt her wisdom and courage, but Theodora did not have a shred of humility or fear of his wrath. You know whose name Incendia almost uttered. You have heard it in your former life more than once. Aspius Corda. Because, oh, we have the Crime Lord background. Rogue trader to Cronus Expanse, an infamously merciless and avaricious pillager who's scarcely different from a common pirate or heretic. One who would never think so by looking at Incendia Bastal Corda, but it appears she and Aspius are related. Well, I, for one, like Theodora. The stories they told of her travels to nameless stars, and yes, there is no fear in her. Oh, do we be mean? No, we're talking shit. Why not? Aspius Corda. I've certainly heard the name before. They say she is with unrivaled plunder and a raider. I was wondering how much of her ways her successor has inherited. The example of the contemptible auspice is a warning to us all. Even among rogue traders empowered by the Emperor himself, a seed of perversion can blossom. Who is saying that? You notice Incendia seemingly freeze and choke up at the mention of Aspius, but Priest's condemning words cause her icy rigidness to evaporate, and her dark eyes fill with righteous fury. So she does have a weakness here. She is scared of that relationship. That reprobate is my forebear and my curse. She was a cruel, covetous, blaspheming monster. She fraternized with Xenos, despised the face, and robbed and slaughtered. She was drawn to dark secrets. One day she boarded her ship and vanished in the depth of the Cronus expanse. She was declared missing, but I know the Bloody Day will come when we see her battleship flag once again. Her battle flagship once again. Thank you for the visit. It will not be a long one, I assure you. What do you think of the celebration? I like it. One can instantly tell we've been invited by the rogue trader, not some administratum bootlicker. We are conquerors of wild sectors, not slayers of unknown beasts, executioners of Xenos empires. Caligos, you should take this opportunity to learn. This is what the palace of a true rogue trader looks like. Not like a Xeno menagerie, a pirate's treasure hold, or, however difficult it may be for you to believe, an orbital brothel. Enjoy the evening, I must take my leave. Oh, believe me, I intend to enjoy myself to the full, to justify so long a voyage, if nothing else. Keep the faith, the Emperor protects. Are we getting any XP for this? I don't think so. So it's going to be like probably a bunch of XP right at the end. Okay, let's end this. Before we do, let's quick save. What do you think of the reception? It is magnificent. Cool. Alright, we're done. Guards in troop. Isn't that... Yeah, Heinrichs. We did talk in private.
We have matters to discuss.
Oh, he has voices.
Valancius.
The woman behind Calcasar, clad in black armor, glares at you, her face set in predatory readiness for immediate violence, the hallmark of professional bodyguard. Remind me, who are you? It's so funny. We know why. We do. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, let's talk.
A commendable openness to cooperation. It will be taken into account.
Right, they really haven't done anything to, like, oh no, our master of ceremonies got put unconscious by a biomancer we know is skilled and careful and, like, it's fine.
Master Van Kellogg's has spent enough time with you. He will vouch for your words. What stands out from your recent accomplishments is the suppression of a rebellion on Janus, the battle against the archenemy's minions on Kiava Gamma, and, of course, the unusual interest the Drakari have shown in you. Then that is what we will discuss.
And he shoots us, he's, you know, playing chess, basically. He's done his opening move and is looking for it. No shit, it's an interrogation, they're Inquisitors. Alright, Janus.
Oh, I know it already. Even though you were quite effective at removing all evidence that could point to the blunder made by House von Valancius, it is saddening to realize that the rogue trader's connivance allowed a heretic who had been fostering a cult for years to come to power.
Yeah. This is just like, well, it wasn't me. What does that do with me? I mean, you know, we're in a society that believes at least a little bit in bloodlines, obviously. So, between 4 and 1 here, this is pathetic. So we won't do that. This one I'm a little unclear at, like, what tone it's taking. Is this a, like... No, let's acknowledge it, right? It was bad. Yeah, like, she was clearly, like, full-on demons of a level of issues. And then also the Xenos, but that was kind of a separate thing.
Your humility is heartening. Rest assured, it will be noted during the investigation of your lamentable oversight.
I mean, I assume Heinrich just told him everything, that's fine. If you know what was happening on Janus, why didn't you intervene yourself?
I cannot satisfy your curiosity without disclosing information of the utmost secrecy. I will say only this. We had the situation under control. There is a tangled knot of perilous events in progress in the Coronis expanse. Plucking even one thread must be performed with great precision and caution, without any room for error.
So you mean like Heinrich's joining us and just murdering everything we see? I mean, that's a lot more forthcoming of an answer than I thought he was going to have, honestly, right? He did just, like, not respond.
Because you do not want to know the price of such an error, or what forms it might take.
Alright, Calvagama.
Places touched by chaos must be purged with fire and condemned to oblivion. Kiava Gamma should have been bombed to dust and pronounced a forbidden world. However, you decided otherwise and restored the colony's operation. And you didn't even go to the trouble of hiding the traces of the neglect committed by your dynasty. After all, it was House von Valancius that gave Cubis Delphim so much freedom that he sank into seditious heresy. What was your rationale?
I mean, this is literally what they're doing, but they're going to judge us and say that's not of our place to do so, right? I don't want to throw the Nefs Mechanicus under the bridge here, or under the bus, but I mean, I wouldn't say they're paranoid fears at this point. You know, we did lose the planet, basically. But this is... I mean, I don't like doing whataboutism, especially not in interrogation. But this does kind of lead from this point of, like, Cubis Delphim had so much freedom that he's thinking heresy. Like, okay, but why does a tech priest having freedom mean he gets led into heresy? But, you know, he is under our responsibility, technically. None of these are good answers. Between 4 and 3, this one I know what he's going to say, but we'll do it. I wish to observe and study our enemy.
I eagerly await the moment when you show me your rosette of the Holy Inquisition. Surely you have it on you. You don't? How strange. I thought that such experiments were within the purview of my esteemed colleagues from the Ordo Hereticus. I hope you realize that we're talking about more than the fate of some colony. I care not for a single planet, however profitable and populous. But should corruption raise its head again on Kiava Gamma and try to spread, I will burn it away. And you will be guilty of criminal negligence.
Why did this one... Okay, whatever. Kari was showing interest in me. Are you referring to my ruined capital?
Yes, yes. The enmity between you is a known fact. But there is another way to look at it. On Veabos 6, you met the Archon of a mighty cabal, whose presence there seems strange to begin with, and lived. You subsequently encountered a number
Is he not
of her
sitting in the
closest
chair? He's not.
Yet, again, you survived. Your capital fell victim to a nefarious attack, but even this time, their daggers missed your heart. Such remarkable luck. To be a personal enemy of such an influential Xenos. To have been attacked so many times and yet make it out alive. So remarkable that one has to wonder, am I watching a spectacle? Could all these thrilling massacres be an alibi of sorts, meant to establish you once and for all as an enemy of the Xenos and never their ally or even their agent?
Yeah, let's do our check. I know this is probably going to get us shot down quickly, but Xenos made more attempts on St. Jusius' life than mine. Does that make him a traitor too?
So you already think you're cut from the same cloth as St. Drusus, do you? Ambitious? I'll make note of it. Are you surprised? You thought the Inquisition was unaware
Oh wait,
of
no,
the
we didn't ask this.
circumstances of your deeds. How often do you find yourself thinking that there are things we shouldn't know about your life? It is my job to know everything, and I do it very well. Keep that in mind.
What color underwear am I wearing? Answer truly or lose your title. I've answered all your questions.
Far from it, my dear. The questions are manifold. How did you manage to survive the battle that claimed the life of
I mean, she was only
Theodora,
like level
who was so
4.
much more experienced and skilled than you? Is it a coincidence that you and you alone then made it out of the trap on Rykad Minoris? How much truth is there in the rumors being spread by the heretic Kunrad Voitvir about you?
Oh my god, you're believing heretical words by a confirmed heretic? Oh my god, Xavier, you're gonna have to get purged.
Why did you choose to ignore the warning of a member of the Inquisition that a protracted sojourn near the dying Rykad Minoris could bring corruption down upon your ship? Were you driven by your concern for the people or forbidden interest?
Look, man, I need the iconoclast points.
Was it virtuous of you to allow the warp-stricken Voidsmen to join your crew? The ones who served on the ship that was turned into a trap for you by Kunrad Voitvir? Isn't it possible that they were part of the blight he had sown?
Yeah, that was the Chaos Bomb, or the Warp Bomb, or whatever the heck it's called.
The very existence of these questions would have made many of my colleagues doubt the quality of your character. But it won't in this case. The Inquisition, which I represent, is willing to show extraordinary faith in your person. For the sake of our invaluable partnership, I'm going to ignore any minor liberties that you, esteemed rogue trader, may have afforded yourself or may again in the future.
Rare words from, you know, a Lord Inquisitor.
I hope you appreciate the generosity of this offer, as your predecessor once did.
Theodora cooperated with you?
And benefited greatly from it. The warrant's power is not without limit, and neither is the protection it provides. All those mysterious expeditions, dubious experiments, collections of xenotech oddities are dangerous pastimes. It takes more than the Emperor's permission to pursue them without consequences. One must also make sure I am not displeased by it.
I know that Theodora was concerned about the fate of the dynasty and certain restricting obligations, also perhaps due to your partnership. No, this isn't voice acted. Cannot deny the possibility that Lady Theodora may have lamented losing some of the freedom she enjoyed prior to my arrival in the Expanse, nor will it deny that our partnership began with me exerting a certain amount of influence. However, you're not Lady Theodora. Let us with difficulty encumbered our relationship to rest along with her. I do not recommend troubling yourself with affairs of the past, for they have no bearing on your present position. Theodora chose to forget about this particular matter. Follow her example, and your fate will be better for it. Why such an interest in my person?
You haven't been in a position of power for long, and so one can forgive you for not noticing the troubling changes. The cult of the Final Dawn is spreading in the Coronis Expanse. Not the first or the last heresy that has afflicted this sector, but one that is surprisingly resilient. Mysterious convoys are sliding by, bound for systems in the heathen stars. Just your humdrum pirate trade, wouldn't you say? Then why are the pirates themselves clueless? The Xenos, who have caused trouble in the sector before, have expanded their activities in the last few decades, and there is a logic and method to their previously chaotic raids. Even 2 packs of space wolves, blessed space marines summoned in my name, did not cool their interest in the Expanse.
Interesting.
A
So we have
mighty
space wolves.
explorative fleet, which has studied the Expanse for hundreds of years, has suddenly stopped responding to communication and sunk into a dispute over a tech heresy that was considered dead a couple of centuries ago. House Chorda has clamped down on insurgents, yet its acts of brutality breed troublemakers just as quickly as they're executed, and this bloody carousel has consumed the attention of the esteemed incendiar. Koligos Winterscale has abruptly lost all interest in his domain, and his only apparent concern now is hunting even more dangerous xenobeasts. And the third and final rogue trader has unexpectedly perished, stabbed in the back by her own master of whispers. The Expanse is swiftly losing its protectors right when communication with the Imperium is being disrupted by the raging warp. Basically,
yeah, it's a lot of
all the Expanse
confounding
has
factors
left
going
is
on
me
here.
and you, if you follow my instructions.
Is Heinrich staying with me? That's all I need to know.
Which would you prefer? And you, Heinrichs, do you wish to
Heinrichs?
continue
I
working
just say you're
at the
wrong.
honorable rogue trader's side?
They call him Heinrichs, not Heinrichs. But Heinrichs is how it's spelled, isn't it?
I will comply with any order, Lord Inquisitor. If you command me to remain in the company of the scion of the von Valancius dynasty, I won't be distressed.
What's your opinion on Heinrichs? Is he a useful assistant?
Without a doubt. Master Van Kellogg's has earned my complete trust by repeatedly demonstrating courage, loyalty, and cunning. His mathematical mind, not given to sentiment, can be of great use in an emergency. You, my dear Heinrichs, have made a far better agent than you would have a pilot of an Imperial Knight.
Alright, Heinrichs is staying.
Then Master Van Kellogg's will remain in place. It puts me at ease to know that there is someone to watch over you.
Sorry, but I need your, like, 7 star rating.
I consider it an honor to accompany you.
Also, we don't actually need him. He, like, is not actually contributing too much to the team, besides, I mean, you know, doing stuff, but, like, it wouldn't be a devastating loss. What kind of deal are we talking about?
I make no deals, and Emperor forbid that I give you orders. That would mean infringing on your privileges. I'm merely offering well-meaning recommendations and expecting that, when the Expanse finds itself in danger, you will break away from your own affairs to heed them.
I like his design quite a bit.
I seem to remember that your exalted aristocrats presented you with many gifts. It would be rude of me not to follow suit. Please accept this gift as a sign of my favor. In an hour of
Here's a
need,
ring.
give it to any faithful servant of the Emperor, and the Inquisition will come to your aid.
Interesting.
The color indicates how close the bearer is to the Lord Inquisitor. Scarlet means that you have shed your blood for the good of the Imperium, and therefore
This surely isn't
you
going to come up at
deserve
some
to have
point.
his servants shed their blood for you.
Once per combat. "25 persuasion is pretty good. So emergency momentum and removal of all dot effects. And then persuasion divided by 7 temporary wounds. Persuasion divided by 7% armor until end of combat's pretty good. Because I think our persuasion is like, it's not that high, but I think it's around 70. So 10% extra armor. Ain't anything to sniff at. Oh, no dogmatic option. We are not obviously like hyper, you know, locked in on the dogmatic option stuff going on here. But if there is one faction of the like Imperium that our character does represent, excluding the Adeptus Mechanicus, but that's like my personal favoritism there, it would be the Inquisition, right? if not like a respectful fear or whatever. So, nothing else. There's nothing to be lost by at least playing it up here, I suppose. Besides him knowing that we're playing it up, but you know, it is what it is.
I am glad to hear it. Your oath has been heard and added to the record. Here is where we part. My shuttle is waiting. It is time for me to return to my watch, for you to sleep, and for your servant to wake up. Until next we meet.
Well, you will obviously want to discuss what just happened, but not now, I presume.
So this is why he wasn't
Right
like
now, it would be better
willing
for
to
you
tell us
rest
things.
and think on the Lord Inquisitor's words in private. I bid you good night, rogue trader.
Night, night. Night, Heinrichs. Oh, we get a little cutscene.
The rise of the rogue trader heir restored a tenuous equilibrium to the Fon Valancius Protectorate. For a time, threats subsided, activity returned to trade routes, and reclaimed worlds began to heal.
There again, time skip.
The new Lord Captain's subjects praised the God Emperor and their leader wholeheartedly. For none
looks like
knew
Dukari.
what fate might await them.
Actually, I think I might like. I think it's Dukari. It might be Aldari. But they have some extra spikes, so I think Dukari. Oh, we didn't give Jai a gift. Yeah, it's fine. I don't personally care about that. Spend the first few hours of your morning listening to High Factorum's lengthy report on the latest trade exchanges, arrangements, disputes, countless bureaucratic procedures. From outside, illuminated, tightly closed windows, you can hear muffled sounds of Dargonis, his everyday life, blah, 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 daily tasks are going on. Clementia barely contains a yawn. Janice Darrock is finished. She pulls out her data slate. Thank you for your report, High Factorum. Your work is highly appreciated, both by everyone here and at Douglas Administratum. We're almost done here with the final items of today's agenda. Speak. News of particular import has come from the House Intelligence Network. Lord Inquisitor Calcazar is rumored to be planning a visit to Footfall. A number of Imperial Navy ships are commanded by Lord Calcazar, and they have been also being scrambled to Footfall. Furthermore, we have received a report that claiming that secret messages were delivered to the capital worlds of House Corda and Winterscale. It is possible that the Lord Inquisitor called to arms may smother the conflict that is brewing between the two dynasties. We are seeing increasing number of skirmishes between their ships and neutral systems. I do not doubt that her ladyship Troya will attempt to sway the Lord Inquisitor to her side. However, or especially since Winterscale's luck seems to be running out, riots have broken out on several of his worlds, and yet he has shown no intention of quelling them. Instead, he has inflicted brutal punishment upon one of his oldest colonies, Vesuvia Secundus, based on allegations of seditious sentiment. Oddly enough, our agents were unable to find any proof of sedition among the populace there. As soon as they have any updates, we'll be the first to know. Lastly, Yulia, I believe, is seeking a meeting with you. Your pet Xenos. She had the audacity to defile Rogue Trader's palace with her profane presence and refuses to leave until she has spoken with you. I will never soon be able to read the emotions of the Xenos, but the Aldari appeared perturbed. I believe she mentioned a void ship of some sort, and maybe best if she told you everything directly. And with that, please allow me and Downrock to take our leave. Perhaps the last request served as a welcome distraction. Indeed, your lordship's stay on Darkonis has been rather long. However, your protector is now enjoying a period of relative stability that, for the time being, no longer demands your personal involvement in its affairs. Oh my god. And we didn't even get a level. Well, I think with that, we're going to end this, because it has been a long time. And I think we have solidly entered Chapter 3. We have a contract, which is at Void Beacons, which we'll definitely do, because, oh my god, what a bonus. Yeah, cool. Passing those checks was good. Alright, besides that, now we'll end it. Yeah, lots of talking, progress to Chapter 3. Nothing horrendous happened, which was my expectation that something horrendous would happen, but it seems like, you know, Chapter 3 is going to start pretty hot with potentially the Yukari evasion coming up.